My friend cheated on her boyfriend, blamed him for being mad, and expects me to agree with her. I have a friend from work, 26F, who was dating this guy, 27 meters, who she met on Tinder during the pandemic, and because of lockdowns, they were not able to travel to meet in person for the year they were together. They were monogamous for around a year and a half. The entire time I knew her, she has been attempting to make this guy jealous by posting hints of male friends' arms on her Instagram, telling him she is going to movies with guy friends, etc. I believe he was most likely doing the same. I noticed these things, but it truly wasn't any of my business, so I just stayed out of it. Last week, she called me and was extremely upset and wanted advice. She was hanging out with one of her guy friends at a drive-in movie theater. They got tired, and she fell asleep in the car in a cuddling position. She was completely freaked out, feeling like she borderline cheated. Because she wanted advice, I told her that she should most likely not see this friend again and avoid a situation like that again if she cares about her relationship. I asked her, "Are you sure you are happy in your relationship?" And she became extremely defensive and went on and on about how loyal she is, how she prides herself in her loyalty, that everyone knows her as a loyal girlfriend, etc. The next day, she called me crying and asked me over to her house. As soon as I reached her door, she told me I cheated. She went out with the same friend the next day and they ended up crossing the line. She wanted me to walk through the situation with her and help her tell her boyfriend in the name of honesty. The entire time, she's going on about how what she did wasn't so bad and she wanted to tell her boyfriend, but he shouldn't be too mad about this because it wasn't fully sex, and basically making excuses for the behavior. Anytime I told her my real feelings or real advice, which insinuated that what she did was crappy but most likely just meant she didn't really want the relationship, she completely freaked on me and became a little rude. She insists that her boyfriend was overreacting about the situation. He broke up with her and said, "Consider this completely done because you broke my trust," but then continued to ask her questions, like, "Were you with him while you were talking to me on text?" Or other questions that hurt people ask. She became extremely agitated by him going on about it, and each time would send me long text paragraphs complaining about how he was annoying and overreacting, called me and said how unfair is he being, etc. Every time I tried to get her to see his point of view, she became irritated with me and immediately snapped. So I ended up just staying quiet. This situation has really made me question why I am friends with this girl, and whether or not I want to continue the friendship. She is calling me every day talking about the situation, and I basically have to agree with her or she's hanging up the phone. The thing is, I do not agree. I do not think she's right, and I think she's being kind of a dick to the poor guy she cheated on. If she was honest about her intentions and owned it, for example, "I'm getting bored of this relationship / feeling insecure, so I made this huge mistake, but now I need to own up to my actions," I feel as if I would be more willing to speak to her about this. But right now, I am getting hour-long phone conversations from her where I am sitting there shaking my head and becoming angry at her but not voicing my feelings. Is it fair that this situation has made me realize that she may not be a friend I want to have? How do I tell this friend that I do not want to be consulted? Is that a rude thing to say? I really do not know how to deal. And now for a few top comments. Outrageous 1284 writes, "Tell her to hop it and get lost. Morally, I could not have a friend he cheats and also expects me to agree with them. Things like that are a deal breaker for me with anyone." Con. Fusionist 66 writes, "She is 100% delusional by trying to paint herself as a loyal girlfriend while doing well, the exact opposite of what a loyal girlfriend does. Her entire relationship sounds toxic considering you mentioned the guy was also playing this weird jealousy game, and the two seem more interested in making the other uncomfortable and jealous than building a strong supportive relationship. I am so sorry you're stuck in the situation, but if you are able to, I would totally remove myself from any discussion about her relationship and her absurd thoughts her boyfriend is overreacting when she cheated on him. It doesn't really seem like you are getting anywhere with her through diplomatically discussion, and it's not fair to you for her to suck out your energy, especially when she is not willing to listen to your rationale. Try to encourage her to see a therapist, and pull away a bit and reconsider your friendship with her otherwise." Phalange Banshee writes, "I cut off 2 friendships because they both thought it was fine to seek attention outside of their relationships and flirt with men who were also in committed relationships. Really think about if this is someone you want in your life. She can't even take proper accountability for her actions, so it speaks volumes to her character. I wouldn't blame you for not wanting her friendship anymore. It feels awful being around people like that." Cinnamon writes, "Is it fair? Yes, entirely so. You are your own person, and this is something you don't like seeing in a friend. Express that. If she gets irritated and doesn't have any intention to change, I would take a deep look at if you want to stay friends, because this behavior definitely reflects on other parts of her personality. The only case where it wouldn't be fair is if you take it to an extreme and harass her for it. If you talk about it with clarity and acceptance, isn't any problem. Basically, you aren't her yes man. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified of our latest videos. Also hit the like button and tell me in the comments what you thought of this story.